Welcome to the Roseville Electric Utility 2015 proposed rate case. The Roseville City Council has 8 priorities. They are public safety, fiscal soundness, economic development, stable and sound utilities, great downtown, infrastructure, legislative advocacy, and civic engagement. Everything that we do within the electric utility, as well as our proposed rate case, are consistent with these priorities. And for the rate case, we primarily focus on fiscal soundness, economic development, stable and sound utilities, as well as infrastructure. There are many benefits of owning your own electric utility or having a municipally owned electric utility in Roseville, and they include low rates. The rates that our customers pay in Roseville are among the lowest in the state. They're in the bottom quartile of all rates in the state of California. Our system is highly reliable, which means when our customers do have outages, they are shorter in duration. Our locally elected board, which is our city council, makes decisions. So we have local decision making, which means that the rate structure and the rates are established by the locally elected city council and not somebody in Sacramento or San Francisco who doesn't live and work in Roseville. When Roseville Electric Utility customers pay for their electric bill, they're also paying for streetlights, operation of streetlights and traffic signals here in town. And the electric utility, as provided in the city charter, also contributes $6 million per year for police, fire, parks, and libraries. So an overview of the rate case includes that we are not proposing to increase the amount of revenue that we're collecting from our customers. The rate case is consistent with City Council priorities. We will continue to match our revenues with our costs, and we will continue to maintain fair and equitable rates. For residential customers, again, we're not requesting or proposing any overall revenue increases for our residential customers, but we are recommending that we reduce the rates for electricity usage, which is the consumption portion of your electric utility bill. We're proposing increasing the monthly flat fee that you pay each month, elimination of the third tier, we have 3 tiers, and reducing the renewable electricity rate. For our business customers, again, no overall revenue increases, a revenue neutral proposal, reducing the consumption-based electricity rates, adjusting the monthly flat fee, reducing renewable energy rates, increasing demand rates, and demand rates are charged to larger business customers. It's kind of like a capacity rate. And we're also proposing shortening our time of use super peak hours. Our larger business customers pay time of use rates, and we're recommending reducing our super peak hours to better reflect what our actual peak is for our system for electricity use. So this is a picture of where our rate changes have occurred over the last 5 years or so, and then it shows proposed for the next 2 years. So as you can see, we're not proposing overall rate increases or overall revenue increases for 2016 or 2017, but we have had some rate increases over the past 5 years, starting out with a 6.2% rate increase in 2011, as well as 2% rate increases in 2013 and 2014. As compared to PG&E and SMUD, you can see that our rate increases have been lower than SMUD. SMUD's had about an average of 2 to 2.5% rate increases each year, and we'll continue to do that into 2016 and 2017. And PG&E has had varying amounts of rate increases over the last 5 years. They're proposing a 5% rate increase for next year, and we do not know what they will propose in 2017. So this is a picture of our electric system, and you can see up at the top left corner of the diagram, that's a power plant. And then we have transmission or high voltage lines and poles that deliver electricity out of the power plant into a substation. And then from the substation, our distribution system, poles and wires, although in Roseville we're mostly underground, but for this picture it's easier to see them above ground. Everything in blue here represents what we call our fixed costs. So the reason they're fixed is no matter how much electricity our customers you may use in your home next month, or a business might use in their business next month, we have the same amount of cost for the poles and the wires and the power plant and the substation. So all assets and equipment that we've had to purchase and install, that doesn't matter if folks don't use any electricity or they use a lot of electricity, those costs remain flat or fixed. So this is just some pictures of some of the things that are fixed for us. Our power plant, not including the gas that we use. The gas that we use for the power plant does vary based upon electricity consumption. But the actual plant itself, our transformers, our poles and wires, our people who are on standby 24/7 to respond to any problems in the system, who are maintaining our system during the day, those are all fixed costs. And again, those costs don't change based upon how much electricity you use. And so if you go on vacation for 2 months or 2 weeks this month, and you only use half of the amount of electricity that you might have otherwise used, we still have the same costs for all of these things, just to be there to provide you with electricity when you need it. The things that are variable are how you use our electricity, or how you use the electricity that we deliver to your home. So how much you run your air conditioner, how much you keep your lights on, how much you run all of the different appliances and televisions, stereos, radios in your home, as well as pool pumps. There's not a picture of pool pumps here, but pool pumps tend to be a larger consumer of electricity. So how much you run your pool pump. So your monthly electric bill has a flat charge, and that stays the same each month. As I mentioned, it covers costs that don't change based upon how much electricity you use. So back to the previous diagram, the picture of the power plant and the poles and wires and the substations, those costs all stay the same for us. So the flat charge on your bill really needs to represent what it would cost just to be on standby for you, just to be there when you need electricity. Your consumption charge is based upon how much electricity you use. So if you use less electricity than your neighbor, your consumption charge is going to be less than your neighbor. So these pie charts are pictures of our revenues and our costs. So on the left, that's our revenues, and the little green piece of the pie that says 16%. That's how much we collect today based upon that flat charge or that fixed charge. So 16% of all the money we collect from our customers to cover our costs actually comes in the form of that flat fee that doesn't change based upon how much electricity you use each month. The pie chart on the right represent what our actual costs are. So if you see there, the piece of the pie, the 32%, is actually twice as big as on the revenue side. So what that means is that we're actually not matching our revenues with our costs. Our costs are actually twice as much for that fixed or flat part of our cost. So the piece of our cost that it's for the power plants and substation and poles and wires, it's actually 32% of our total costs, whereas we're only collecting 16% in revenues. So our proposal will continue to get our revenues more aligned with our costs. So to get that 16% closer to the 32%. And we started doing this back in 2012. And so what we're proposing is to continue what we started in 2012, to continue to slowly move our rate structure to better reflect what our actual costs are. So another thing that is motivating us to look at our rate structure and continue to change our rate structure is that today for residential customers, you pay about $18. You pay $18 per month. It's a flat part of your bill. But it actually costs us quite a bit more to serve customers for that flat or fixed part of the bill. And the reason this is important, in addition to better matching our revenues with our costs for financial strength, is that by 2020, the state of California has mandated that all new homes built after 2020 be net zero energy homes, which means that these customers will be not needing on a net basis electricity from their electric utility provider, which is fine. And we are more than willing and able to be that standby for those customers, but we need to get our rates to better reflect what it actually costs to provide that service to those customers. So for our proposal, like we said, this is a revenue neutral proposal, and the average bill will remain unchanged. So the average bill today is $112 per month. 2016, it will be $112 per month, and in 2017, it will be $112 per month. What will change is the fixed part of the flat part of your bill. So today it's $18. Next year will be $22, and the year after that it'll be $26. And then the consumption-based portion of your bill, which is the blue part of this each bar, will slightly decrease over time. And so it's this year it's about $94 per month. Next year it'll be about $90 per month, and the year following it'll be about $86 per month. For a low user, the overall there will be slight increases in a low user's overall monthly bill impact. Today, It's about $51. Next year, it'll be about $52 under this proposal, and the year following that, under this proposal, it will be $54 per month. Again, this is due to the flat fee increasing. The proposal is to increase the flat fee from $18 to $22 to $26, and the consumption-based fee will go down with an overall impact to a lower user's bill to increase in the first year by about $1 per month and increase $2 per month in the second year. A high user, on the other hand, will see slightly different results. So today, a high user on average is about $165 per month. Now we have a number of customers who are above that, others that are below that are all high users, but we selected this level of a high user. $165 today, $164 next year, and $162 the following year. And again, the flat fee changing from $18 to $22 to $26. Their consumption-based fee in the blue, $147 per month down to $142 per month, down to $136 per month in 2017. So for the details, this is a diagram of what the actual details of the rates look like. So again, the monthly flat fee, we're proposing that it go from $18 today to $22 in January of 2016 to $26 in January of 2017. Again, we're recommending that we eliminate the third tier. Today, the third tier is paying about 16.7 cents per kilowatt hour. We're recommending eliminating that tier and just keeping the remaining two tiers that today are at about 10 cents and almost 15 cents. So by having the second tier, it still is a strong incentive for people to be energy efficient and to conserve electricity. And it's almost a 50% uptick between tier 1 and tier 2. So there's still incentive to reduce your energy consumption to keep your use below tier 2. So tentatively, we are scheduled to wrap up our public meetings and our public outreach in September, and we will be going to the Roseville Public Utilities Commission in either the 4th Tuesday of September or the 4th Tuesday of October. We'll know better as we get through our public outreach. We will be going to the City Council in November or December, and we are proposing that the new rates be effective in January.